Hey everyone, thanks again for stopping by for another video. So this video, or the topic I'm going to be talking about today in this video, is going to be about dreams. And actually, I'm going to be talking about lucid dreaming. So I already dream pretty vividly. Like I remember, I don't know if I was like in my early 20s when I started to more vividly dream. So for those that might not kind of understand or might not really know the difference between like a regular dream and like dreaming vividly is where it feels kind of more realistic. There's more details. Like you might have your different senses, smell, taste, touch, just different senses. So when I was younger, I want to say it was in my early 20s. I don't know if it was in my late teens, early 20s. And I remember the first time having like a really vivid dream where I could actually taste and feel textures. It was mind blowing at that time for me because I never felt that before. And then over the years, my dreams would become more and more vivid. Not only could I, taste things and feel textures, I could feel pressure. I could feel like the mass of something. So if I'm like picking something up, or let's say you're hugging somebody in a dream, it would feel kind of realistic, almost like hugging somebody in real life. Like you could feel that, they take up space. I could also over time start feeling temperatures. You could feel things like breezes. You could feel things like, cold water. It's kind of crazy, but it's like over time, uh, just more and more things I would notice in my dreams that just made them feel more and more vivid. Now I've also had a couple of lucid dreams, but my one that I had a few weeks ago was like an actual lucid dream. So I had a dream. I don't remember how long ago it was. It was probably a few years back. It was probably like my first lucid dream that I had, where I kind of fell asleep and it was like one of those ones where I kept falling asleep and waking up. Um, so at one point in my dream, I was alert and aware of what was going on. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm dreaming right now. I fell back to sleep. I was like, I have to wake up because I have to go to work. I don't want to be late. So I'm literally in my dream and I'm screaming to myself, wake up, wake up, wake up. And when I started waking up, I was laying there. I could actually hear myself saying, wake up, wake up, wake up. I had another one where it could have been a lucid dream, but I made a mistake in the lucid dream. So, in some individuals, the way they could trigger a lucid dream is they'll do something where it's like, okay, this is something that would only work in waking life and in waking reality, but in a dream, it's something that won't work, and it kind of it wakes them up in the dream. I made the mistake of checking out textures in my dream, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know this is, real life, whatever, blah blah, because just feel the surface of this table. Well, if I can feel textures in a dream, that's not gonna work. Um, so, and I didn't explain what lucid dreaming is. I do apologize. So for those that might not know what lucid dreaming is, um, lucid dreaming is where you kind of become aware. You basically like wake up inside your dream. So normally when you're dreaming, your brain is like, hey, this is reality. So even if it's something crazy where the world is upside down or you're flying through the air, your brain's like, hey, this is normal. This is everyday life. It's only, once you wake up, you're like, oh yeah, that was a crazy dream. So sometimes what will happen is sometimes individuals will, inside their dream, they become alert and aware, essentially like waking up inside your dream, and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't, I'm dreaming right now. And some individuals, they can kind of take control of their dream and change things and do whatever they want. Some might get kicked out of the dream because sometimes your brain, it's like, wait, you shouldn't be awake, right? You shouldn't be aware of what's going on right now. You pretty much get booted from your dream. So I had an actual lucid dream a few weeks ago, and it's one of those things, if you've never had a lucid dream, it's a crazy experience. like once you get a taste for it, you want to have another one. Um, if you've had a good experience. If you haven't had a good experience, it might not be the case. Um, so I had a lucid dream where at one point, and I don't know what triggered it. I don't remember what triggered it, and I probably should have did this video like the next day. My bad. Or written down notes. So I'm not sure what triggered my lucid dream. But at some point in the dream, I was like, wait a minute, I'm dreaming right now. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I can do whatever. So I did. I try to do different things. I try to go to different places. I try to do different things. I try to hang out, with people that I actually know in real life. Obviously, it's just, your brain, manifesting that, your brain's version of that person. In the dream, but it was really cool where I could manipulate my dream and be like, I'm doing this, I'm going to try to do this. The crazy thing, and I have watched a few different videos on lucid dreaming, one thing that I've never of the videos I've watched so far, it doesn't mean that there aren't videos out there to talk about it, but one of the things I noticed in the dream was I could tell when, like, the dream world, or I guess maybe that part of the brain that's saying, hey, you're dreaming, was trying to take back over. I could tell, like, the dream, I would be doing the thing I want to do, and I could tell, because normally when you're dreaming, your dreams go this way. They go crazy. Like, you're doing one thing 1 minute, and the next thing you might be in a completely different space or place doing something completely different, and you probably don't notice it because you just go with the flow in your dream because your brain's like, yeah, this is reality. Um, so because I was aware inside this dream space, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. So I was doing everything I could to try to stay grounded in that reality at that moment where I'm like, no. So it's like that part of your brain that is like, hey, this is reality, in your dream, it kept trying to take over. It kept trying to change what was going on. It kept trying to pull me back into the dream state. And I'm like, I don't want to. So I've never heard anyone talk about that before, where you're fighting to stay aware inside the dream world. It was freaking crazy. So I was doing whatever I could. So I'm like, well, this is going to sound so dumb, but it's like, because I knew I could feel textures in dreams, I'm like purposely trying to feel textures. I knew I could taste, and there happened to be beverages sitting there. So it's like trying different beverages to try to stay grounded in that reality at the moment, to try to stay lucidly dreaming for as long as I could. And something else that was kind of crazy that I noticed was how, now I mentioned vivid dreaming. Ignore the stain on the ceiling that needs to get painted. Sorry. Talking about vivid dreaming, I didn't talk about like how clear, the clarity of everything. So I know that when I dream, it's almost like, I noticed this at one point, it's clearer. It's almost like when you're watching like standard HD, like when HD first came out, and then you maybe watch something in like 4K. Yeah, we'll compare it to that. So it's a little crisper, it's a little clearer. So I noticed my dreams are kind of like that. When I was lucid dreaming, it was like ultra high. It was like 8K. It was like OLED 8K or higher. When you go into a store to buy a TV and it's like on the display settings to catch your attention to make you want to buy that TV, where it's like, oh my God, that's the clearest thing I've ever seen. It's so vibrant and colorful and everything. So when I was lucid dreaming, I actually was able to take in my surroundings and stop and look around and look at how detailed everything was. So like the lighting of things, how clear things were, the level of color and contrast and everything was like, holy crap, I've never noticed that before. So in my lucid dream, it was like freaking like 8K. So it's crazy how not only your brain can recreate all of this stuff, people, places, objects, but how it could, recreate all the littlest, tiniest details. And even then, it's like ultra mega high def on steroids. I thought that was a crazy thing. That's also something else that I have yet to come across in a video of individuals talk about lucid dreaming. Like, I don't hear about those kind of finite details. It's usually like, oh yeah, I was able to go wherever I wanted. I was able to do this. I was able to do that. But I don't hear where it's like, oh my God, the level of detail where it's like more detailed than the object sitting in front of you right now, or just the clarity of it. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was kind of interesting. And I've been wanting to do this video for a while. So if anyone was bored by this video, I apologize. If anyone thought this was interesting and wanted to know more, you can leave comments in the comment section. Or if, it'd be really cool is if any of you want to share maybe some of your experiences with lucid dreaming, or even just, if it's not even lucid dreaming, just how, you might have certain vivid dreams and like how you dream, like the level of detail that you dream. So thank you again so much for stopping by. Yeah, I definitely want to have lucid dreams again. If it happens again, I'll probably drop another video on here. So please click that subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when I go. I almost want to say go live. So when I drop another video. But yeah, leave comments below about if you've ever had a lucid dream, what it was like, or even, like I said, just how vivid your dreams are if you don't lucid dream, but you vivid dream. All right, have a great day, guys, and see you in the next video. Bye.